Hey everybody, it's your GM Isaac Allen Burns here with a special announcement for all the Dodo fans out there. So we love this game Daggerheart so much. It has been so awesome getting to play it, and we want to share that love with everyone else. So what we're doing is we're running a promotion. All you have to do as a Dodo fan is just comment on a social media of your choice why you love the show. Include hashtag Daggerheart and tag us so we know about it. And we're going to choose 3 lucky individuals on May 21st to receive a
Critical Role gift card. Please make sure your country is eligible before entering the promotion.
So post that once this announces, and then keep a lookout on the 21st for that big announcement. Nice.
And fan heart counts for double.
Fan heart?
Fan art counts for double.
Fan art counts twice.
If you do fan fiction, that's 3 times.
Oh. The Apple Festival of Brackenroad is finally here. Oh, how could I even describe it? Well, I think the best way to describe it is to just take you with me. That's right. I'm talking to you, fair listener. Look to your left and right all you want, but I'm talking to you right now. That's right. You listening right here, welcome to the land of Altea, more specifically, the country of Voldaen. Even more specifically, the province of Algenubi. Even further specifically, the road just outside the town of Brackenroad. Are you looking for a festival of sights both delicious and delightful? You've come to the right place, friend, because you've come to the Brackenroad Apple Festival. Follow me. In fact, just take my hand and I'll take you right there. You're approaching the town from the south, which is where most people approach the town, and you're walking on well-worn cobblestones, hewn into the sides of rolling hills around this fair province. Soon, as I continue walking you down this road, you're surrounded by apple trees, decked with the most succulent apples that you've ever seen. What's that I hear you saying? Apples are in the fall, and yet it's springtime? Oh, well, that's the magic of this place, friend. Maybe apples are in the fall, but Brackenroad apples have no season because they are always in season. Huh? Look over there to your right, and you'll see our most ancient apple tree. It's nearly 250 years old, and yet it's producing bushels of apple fruit like you've never seen, like it's still in its prime, like it's still young and virile. That's just how blessed we are here in Brackenroad, friend. Deny it all you want, but you can see before you these rows of beautiful orchards. And if you look even further, you'll see even other farms that aren't as cool as these apples, am I right? We laughed for a few moments. And now, look at this, a big wooden gate standing before us, guarded by these 2 smiling peacekeepers. We wave at them, and they nod to us and open the gates. Have a wonderful apple day, they say in unison. We brush that off and chuckle as we walk into the gates. We're good friends now. Inside the gates is a sight to see. Flags and streamers of red, green, and yellows hang on nearly every single window on every single building. Not to mention these beautiful colored lamps that are strung across the streets. They may not be lit now as it is the morning time. It is sunny and you just woke up, silly. What's that you smell? That's right, you're sniffing right now. It's the smell of cinnamon and nutmeg and fresh squeezed apples that rise to greet you as the crispest of ciders and the juiciest of tarts are prepared before your very eyes. There's so much to see, but friend, we just have to keep walking. Oh my goodness, you can get to them later. Just do what everyone does. Say you'll be back later in the day and just don't go back. Don't worry, they won't take it personally. Ignore the rest of these street vendors selling their lovingly handcrafted wares and these booths selling their own various town delicacies. Is that a caramel apple? Is that a candied apple? Is that a snozberry apple? We probably can't say that. We just got taken down for copyright. But don't worry, friend. We're in a fantasy world. You don't got to worry about it. Oh, look where we are now, friend, who I've been leading through this whole town. We're in the town square. Look to your left and you'll see a big stage. Right now, there's a bard playing a jaunty tune on a little lute. Oh, but we can't forget that at the end of the first night is the inaugural speech by our fair lord, Viscount Edgar Balthazar, where he kicks off the rest of the big events of the festival. Don't worry, most people stay for the whole thing, but even if you can't, that's all right. Because down every street and every corner, there's stuff to see here at the Apple Festival. Anyway, that's been me, your good friend and narrator, here to lead you around the town of the Apple Festival. So stick around, kick your feet up and enjoy. You can relax here, friend, because the festival has gone off without a hitch for nearly 250 years.
If you're a dodo, maybe you don't know. Maybe you have wings that don't do a thing. Maybe there's something to all that is nothing. No looking back, though, the way of the dodo. But if we can be great, extinction could be sane. Adventure and romance, mystery and nonsense. Some fear and some hope, holiness all goes. So maybe we all know the way of the dodo.
The three of you wake up having had a really weird dream of someone leading you around the town. That was in canon, actually. Just to recap a couple things. Y'all have done a lot to prepare the town for something occurring. This includes getting the rats from a trash heap to be on the lookout. You've convinced some of the younger folks around town to keep a lookout. You've convinced some of the older veterans around town to keep a lookout. Now, obviously, they're not going to stand at attention the whole time. So shifts are occurring where some of them will have been stationed at various outposts, just in places where they can see what's going on. The peacekeepers are stationed at the two gates, one heading to the south and one heading to the north. But nevertheless, what this will mean mechanically is that if anything does happen, not saying it would, because yeah, it's just a festival, you guys. Nothing bad happens in the festival. Don't worry about it, gang. But if something does happen, there will be a few mechanical benefits that we will discuss if they come up. And who knows, maybe they won't. It's just the Apple Festival, you guys. But nevertheless, as the morning starts, I will ask, where do we find you three?
Where were we hiding out? In your...
In my clubhouse
Yeah.
off of Droop Farm, which is in the shed on the back side of the property under a hidden cellar door with a bunch of stuffed animals.
Perfect.
I feel like I'm just like guarding my staff with my life. It's behind me. I am like in a corner and it is behind me. And I'm just sitting, looking so I can see everything.
Cappy is outside, sitting and looking over his new halberd.
Oh, hi, Cappy.
Hey, kid.
Hey. Oh, wow. That's a really long rod you got there.
Oh, yeah. Cyrus gave it to me just to
Oh.
make sure we do a really good job protecting the festival.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Is Craig ready?
I don't know. Crank?
Are you guys outside or are you guys inside?
I poke my head in.
What? Everything's fine?
Okay, it's just you've been in there all morning.
Well, I'm not doing anything weird if that's what you're implying.
Yeah, you've been hiding that staff under a blanket.
What
the whole-
stuff?
Do we need to knock when we enter so you can put your staff away?
Yeah. I've just noticed it's been at attention. And I've noticed that you keep reaching your hand under the blanket.
We can knock if you need to put it away.
I'm going to have to shower some
just
cold
gonna-
rain on top of this group.
I'm just worried that those gauntlets are going to get rusted or something.
All right, hold your horses. I'm coming.
Very good. You step out into the sunlight, and the three of you are ready to begin the festival.
All right. So we all know what we're doing today,
Following your orders.
right? Robot?
Following your order?
Right. We all need to follow my orders. Just a quick recap. We have a very dangerous artifact. Right, Crank?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's just keep our eyes peeled for anything suspicious and then, handle it appropriately.
That we can do. Okay. But we are going to see Scarlet at some point before the end of the day, right?
I don't know. Scarlet's very busy. This is like Scarlet's Super Bowl, which is a thing in Voldaen.
That's right. There is a Super Bowl in the land of Altea. There's a sport that's played, and then once a year, all the best teams, the 2 best teams of that sport, come together in a fantastic celebration of the sport called the Super Bowl. That's right. That is canon now. Put it on the books. I can't wait to discover more about it.
So yeah, I don't know. Scarlett's very busy.
I do think it's important that we probably see her at least once today, right?
I don't know. So also speaking of, well, kind of not really related, but kind of, at the end of the day, assuming that all things go well, if you guys see Nephany, maybe just tell her that I died? Protected. Yes. I knew I liked you, big guy.
What? Why are we telling Nephany that you died?
I don't know. It doesn't have to be that I died. It could be that I got an incurable disease that is infectious. It could be that.
Should we tell her she needs to go see a doctor?
Maybe. Well, wait, actually, no. Maybe don't do that, actually. Okay, anyways, we have work to do, guys.
Doctor!
What?
What?
Language.
Oh, sorry.
You've been really wild since you've started hanging out with us. I'm worried about your image. If you're going to be a doctor, you need to keep a certain amount of credibility.
Sorry.
Okay?
Are we a bad influence on you?
Yeah.
I always do that word. It just called for it this point. Anyway, so you slept with Nephany? I thought you loved Scarlet.
What are you talking? You can't prove. Guys, the Apple Festival started. We need to be there. We are the main defenders. And I hold my giant
stick.
Yes, my giant halberd. I hold my giant halberd and I struggle because it's a little hard to balance. And I walk forward towards town and expect you guys are with me.
I kind of wait for a second and look back to Crank and go, isn't Scarlet supposed to be married off at the end of this festival? Meaning this perhaps is the last time that Cappy will ever get to see Scarlet, ever.
Well, if he's dead, he'll never get to see her again anyway.
That's true. But I thought that was just for Nephany.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to tell everyone that he died.
I think just Nephany.
Oh. Well, how is Nephany going to believe that he's dead if we don't tell anyone else that he's dead?
So we're going to tell everybody else he's dead.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Okay, and then who is this guy?
His evil twin brother?
I like it. Zappy?
Zappy's a good one.
Or Fappy.
And on that note, you start following Cappy back into town. The 3 of you make your way into town and begin your patrol. You notice you take your checkpoints where you go and check on some of the other soldiers at a couple of the taller buildings in town. Not the town hall, as the town hall is the tallest building, as it is the most important. Some of the other taller buildings that have roof access, there are a couple of people who are there, keeping a lookout on both outside the town and inside of it. As you walk through the town, you walk through the various streets and roads, you see plenty of people here, a plethora of all kinds of people. It's odd because here in Brackenroad, it's largely fawns that are here. But now there are people from kind of all over the province who have come to the Apple Festival. So you still see a lot of fawns, see a lot more dwarves around, a lot of people who you can tell are outside of the town. The thing you know about the first day of the Apple Festival is that this is sort of the big booth time. So there's a lot of booths, a lot of tents, a lot of people having set up little stations where they can sell their wares, including their fruits and their handmade crafts and such. A lot of the big events like the eating contests and the biggest vegetable contests, the typical fairs that occur are later on in the day. And as you're traveling through, making checks of all these things, about an hour into the first day, who comes striding up to the 3 of you but Mayor Raisins himself. He is dressed in a nice long coat of red and green and yellow. It is quite garish. However, it's the festival, baby. You gotta be a little gaudy for the festival. And this man is walking towards y'all. You can tell that he's very stressed out. And he comes up to Cappy and says, "Hello, Cappy. Hello, all of you. Hello. Oh, it's so good to see you. I see that you're hard at work. Yes? Yes,
Yeah.
you're hard at work.
Everything's going great, Mayor Raisins. Are you having a good time?
Good. Yes, I'm having a great. Having a time. Can I talk to you 3 really fast? Can I just talk to you 3 really fast? Just very quickly. Come here. Come here to this side alley." He drags the 3 of you over to a side alley.
Okay.
Okay, listen.
We're in the side alley.
Yes, we are here. No one is around. I have to ask you something very sensitive. I'm going to whisper it now. did any of you see anything when you came to the town hall a few days ago? You came and you would happen to have noticed anything there that seemed peculiar, or you did not see anyone walking away with like a big walking stick, or maybe a stick that had lots of gems in it, or did you see anything like that?
Is this how you tell us that you collect sticks?
No.
Okay. I was like, he collects sticks and he puts gems in them. Yeah, I thought.
He grabs you by the lapel and says, Cappy, I need you to be serious right now. Did you see a big stick? Did you see a big staff that glowed?
No.
Did you not see it?
No, why? What's going on?
Okay. We are calm. We are breathing. We are calm. Give me one moment.
Pistachio currently is just like mile long staring, just like, and then slowly goes behind Craig as if there's nothing.
The reason that I ask is because there was a very important thing in the town hall.
Okay.
That was very secretive, that may have had the description of a staff that was green, and it is not there anymore. So, nothing to fear. Don't even worry about it.
No, I don't. But I stick my hands out to Crank and Pistachio as if to just say, like, yeah, everything's fine.
Okay.
Mayor Raisins.
Yes. That is me.
What was so important about the staff?
Oh, nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing important. It was nothing important, really. It was a family heirloom. I just wanted to find it. It's not here right now, so there's nothing to worry about right now. But
wait, you know what?
What?
Actually, now that I think about it,
You're thinking?
I'm thinking hard.
Okay.
And I think my two compatriots could back me up on this.
Okay.
I think we saw.
Cappy, out with this man. I can hardly entertain the suspense.
Okay, first off, what the hell is Scarlett's dad's name?
Oh, you have the same that I have.
Yeah, Apple
No.
Bottoms. What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
Apple Bottom.
Richard Apple People.
Apple
Rich
People.
It's rich apple people.
Rich Apple People. Yeah. Okay, I think we saw Rich Apple People leave with. He was holding. It looks like a stick under like a blanket or something. And I want to use my Deft Deceiver, which is an ability where I can spend a hope to take advantage on a roll I make to deceive or trick someone into believing a lie I tell them.
Oh, no.
Nice.
Okay. This will be a presence roll for deception. Go ahead and do it.
All right. My presence roll is a +1. That is a 18 with hope, and I get to roll advantage to spend a hope to roll advantage, which is a 6. So
It's 24.
with
All
hope.
right. So for reasons
Mark that hope.
for reasons I won't fully reveal, I will say the DC for this was very high, as in it was a 20. You beat a 20. So his eyes go wide, and you hear him say, "That son of a bitch, I knew he was up to something. I knew he would do this.
Never had a good feeling about him.
He's always tried to.
Always.
He's always tried to.
I heard him
usurp
talking
me.
about you.
He's never liked me. That's right.
Nope.
I knew he never liked me.
I tried to tell him you were a good guy.
He was always mad that I was made vassal and not his people.
He just couldn't stand that you had the power.
That's I'm going to. There's very little I can actually do, but I'm mad about it now. Oh,
As you should be.
He puts a talon on your shoulder and says, "Cappy, you make me feel very better. We will come up with a plan of attack to get it back. This is very bad that it is gone."
What kind of security council would we be if we didn't make you feel secure?
Yes, you are very right. You know, Cappy, I was a little unsure when I heard that a bunch of random people in the town were put on security notice. But at first I was worried that would cause an uproar, a commotion. But now I see I can trust you. This is very good.
Mayor, what does that staff do?
Okay, Pistache.
Oh, nothing. It is just a family heirloom. There is nothing very important
Just a family
about.
heirloom.
Nothing you have
There's
to worry
nothing
about.
important, nothing to worry about.
It's not crucial
it's
to
not
the
crucial
town.
to the
It's
town.
Not at all.
Not
It's
at
just
all.
a thing.
So it's just a thing.
Right.
Yes,
So let's go, and I push Pistachio out the alley.
I back out of the alley very slowly, holding my body in a way that just obscures this giant long stick on my back.
He watches you go and says, "That robot moves very weird." But good thing I have nothing to worry about. But how to get back at the Apple people. You see, his fears have been fully assuaged, and he As you step out of the alley, you hear footsteps running towards you, and it's the mayor. He forgot something. He says,
Ugh.
wait, before you go.
Yes, Mayor Raisins.
Of course. So one thing I wanted to talk to you about, however, was that...
That wasn't the thing?
Oh, that was the thing.
Okay.
But I was so scared of the thing, I forgot about the other thing I wanted to give you. And he holds out 3 little tickets. He hands them to you and says, listen, one thing that I believe in is that this festival is very important for all of us. And I think the 3 of you should also remind yourselves what you are defending. And so these 3 tickets can be used to play any of the games for free across the festival. Feel free to enjoy yourself. Take a little 5-minute break and play maybe one of the Apple Jacks or perhaps any of the other games that are there. Listen, I trust all of this in your hands. So if you find a break, I just wanted to do something for you to feel good. So enjoy the festival, my friends.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
This
you.
means a lot.
I am a good leader. And he turns and walks away.
Pistachio's face is like plastered on as a smile and looks over to Cappy and goes, I don't feel good about this.
Crank, are you okay? That one was close.
I think so. Maybe we should disguise this thing a little better.
Maybe. Here, let me take it.
No, what? No, you can't defend it.
What?
You're
I was just gonna.
small.
Do you not want me to hold the... I mean, I do have this big thing for right now, so...
Yeah, you're holding your own.
Okay.
You can't touch mine.
Okay. Should we play some games?
I was hoping we could.
What kind of games are there? I've never been to this festival before.
That's right. Pistachio Crank's never been to the Apple Festival.
Oh, wait, that's so
Crank,
great.
you have to play Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks, what is that?
Oh,
Apple
wait.
Jacks is the best game where...
You go to the Apple Jacks table, as Cappy explains that Apple Jacks is a game of finesse, where what you have to do is you hold an apple in your hand, and you have to throw it up in the air, and you have to pick up as many apple seeds as you can off the table, and catch the apple before it splats on top of you. Simply put, you'll roll a finesse check, and depending on how well you roll, will determine how many seeds you pick up, and it depends on what kind of prize you get.
I'm very bad at Apple Jacks, but I will happily go. Okay, all right.
He
I got-
hands you a nice plump apple and says, okay, you got to throw it up directly above your head and get as many seeds as you can.
This apple is like twice the size of
It's a big apple.
Pistachio's hand.
These are big Brackenroad
They're
apples.
big
yes.
Brackenroad apples. So Pistachio tosses it up. Wow. That's a crit with
Oh
2.
my god.
Oh my goodness.
But it's like a 2's crit, which is funny.
Okay.
Isaac looks...
Go ahead and roll a d10 just to see how many you're able to get.
Oh my gosh.
I rolled another 2, y'all.
Oh, so what happens is, here's exactly what happens, Pistachio, is you throw the apple up in the air. And as you go down, you pick up 2 seeds and suddenly a bird comes out of nowhere and starts grabbing the seeds off the table. So in the few seconds that you have, you like start fighting the bird off. And then a bird flies away just in time for you to catch the apple. So you only have 2 seeds, but everyone's really impressed. And you see the person behind the table who's kind of like covered in feathers now says, wow, I've never seen that happen. Yeah, we'll say you did it. Good job. Wow.
Thanks.
Okay, the ticket is good for 3 of you to try it.
Let me show you how it's done, Metal.
Cappy goes up.
All right. So, and just because I have this experience, I feel like I have to use it. I want to use how do you like dem apples,
Yes.
which is a +2 on top of my +2 finesse anyways. So again, I look at Crank, then I wink, and then I throw the apple in the air.
You do so.
Then I
What do we got?
hang on, I had to figure out if it was a 6 or a 9.
Nice.
A 17 with fear.
Cappy,
With
you
fear, though.
throw the apple up and you're able to pick up 7 seeds before the apple comes down. And the thing is that whenever you throw the apple up, it's coming down. And the last thing you want to do is crunch the apple. And Cappy, you're able to catch the apple so easily. See a couple of kids were standing around and say, what? Oh my God, 7?
Oh,
You got 7
stop. Keep going.
Oh, wow, I got 7
No,
seeds.
it's nothing really. I look at Crank as if like challenging him.
Well, that looks easy.
The table person looks at you, Crank, and says, so do you want to try it? You seem really big.
Crank.
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 Crank. I like gesture to the crowd. Crank. Crank. Crank.
Crank. Crank. Crank. A bunch of
Here,
kids around, like, clank.
I'll hold your thing in the,
I can hold my thing, but thank you.
Very good. So if you're going to do this, you're going to, as you know, luckily Apple Jacks is played with one hand. You can't like do 2 hands. So You can hold it in one of your hands and try it.
I'm trying to think because my finesse is +0.
Which is
so
awesome.
it could either be terrible or I could be like using my strength to throw this apple as high as I can into space.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
I'll say this much.
Can I use my strength to throw this apple as hard as I can into the air?
I will let you use strength, but the DCs will increase. I'll say that much.
Okay.
Go for it. Let's see what happens.
It's going to be terrible. 20 with hope.
God. 20. You cock back and just baseball throw this apple straight up in the air. And then just with your big hands, you just scoop all the seeds. And then you reach out for the apple, and it had so much height that once it hits your hand, it just, you don't move your hand to like catch it, so it just splatters everywhere in your hand. The table person behind just kind of wipes apple guts off of his face, and he says, well, I guess you did catch it, but it feels like a technicality. I don't know what to do here, but you're really tall, and I'm intimidated by you, so I'm going to say you win. Oh, you're supposed to pick them up. Okay, you all win. Good job, everybody. You get the 3 prize. And he hands all 3 of you a little potion.
Yay!
Everyone beat the equivalent of the DC 15 to get the 5 seed prize, which for each of you is a focus potion. This potion smells like a fresh apple, freshly squeezed with a touch of cinnamon. And if you drink this, your next finesse roll will have a +1.
So it's
Gee, thanks,
Adderall.
mister. It's Adderall.
Ooh, thanks.
There's only +1 for your very next finesse roll. But yeah, the 3 of you get that. And that's really awesome. Can someone roll me a D6?
I'll do it. 3.
Fantastic. This is really great.
Can we go bob for apples? I could hold my breath a really long time.
I don't need to breathe.
That is true.
I'm starting to see a pattern in how most of these games is going to go.
And I also am pretty good at guessing where the apple is under the cups. That one's pretty good.
Are you talking about apple tiles?
Apple
That is pretty good.
tiles.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. Very good. As you start heading towards apple tiles, you see someone walking down the road. And this person sticks out to you because you see a well-dressed, rather plump elf. She's rather tall. She's dressed in vibrant greens. And on either side of her are 2 armored individuals with green designs all over the armor and a banner kind of put on it of a wolf, which y'all know is the banner of Just Thane. It clicks to you, Cappy, who specifically heard about this. This is Senator Martin. And she is walking through. She has got the most beautiful teeth you've ever seen a person have and a laugh that carries. And you see that she's talking to some local nobles. You see she's hobnobbing and chatting with them. The 2 guards on either side are kind of looking around. You see their heads are on a swivel. They're not like, their hands aren't on their swords. They're not looking aggressive. They're just more, they're clearly bodyguards. But they're looking around and they see the 3 of you. And one of them sees that halberd of yours and just kind of cocks his head to the side.
And Cappy just waves back at him. Hi. And I kind of like, I lean over to my gang. Playtime's over. You see that elf over there?
The pretty tall one?
Yes. The well-dressed plump one, as I heard
As
it
it was described.
Yeah.
She's not that tall.
Okay. We need to protect that elf. That's Senator Martin.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Everyone act real professional.
Pistachio bounds up to her. Hello. Welcome to the festival.
Oh, dear. Well, hello there.
Hi, I'm Pistachio Droop.
Well, a pleasure to meet you, Pistachio. My name is Melissa Martin. She holds a hand out for you.
Pistachio takes her hand and gives her a firm handshake.
Ooh, a firm handshake. Someone raised you right, little one.
Thanks. That was my sister.
It's all the nuttin'.
It is all.
Oh, my.
We are. I'm part of the nut farm, the Droop family farm. But this is the Apple Festival, so welcome. I'm part of the adventuring group. This is my boss, Cappy, and my best friend, Craig.
Hi.
Oh, you're adventurers.
Yes.
I did hear there was a branch here in Brackenroad. I was curious to see what kind of adventurers were here. Pleasure to meet you, Melissa Martin. She holds
Yes,
a hand
very, very. And I button up my jacket. Senator Martin, is there anything that we could do to, make your time here more comfortable? I see you have your guards. Is there anywhere we could help point you or?
Dear, this is not my first Apple Festival. Trust you me. But I do appreciate it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, we're here and we have connections. So if you need anything at all, you let us know. Okay.
Oh, well, I do love to hear that. Thank you so much for your hospitality. I wasn't sure what kind of reception we were going to get. I haven't stepped inside these borders in nearly 10 years.
Wow.
But I love to see this little town is just so ripe and beautiful.
Oh, well, the town thanks you. We're about to go towards the apple tiles. Would you like to join us?
Oh, I do wish I could. But duty calls. I have to hobnob to every self-important noble here in this wonderful country. In fact, I believe that I can hear my old boss, Mr. Balthazar himself, coming this way.
Oh.
Oh, a Viscount now. He used to be an earl.
Oh, I do know that, yes.
He used to be an earl, but for the first time in Voldaen's history, he was downgraded. Oh, it makes my little sassy heart happy to hear
it. Pistachio's just like, looks at Kathy.
Okay, well, this has been great.
Yep.
Crank?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, well, let us know.
Goodbye.
She smiles wide, knowing she made you uncomfortable. And just in time, you look around and see another important figure walking down the street. It's a dwarven man who is very stout and very wide, with very serious expression on his face. Looks like he hasn't cracked a smile in nearly years. On either side of him, you see a member of the Peacekeepers you haven't seen before. He's very well dressed in a sort of officer's uniform. You see the insignia on his uniform suggests that he is a major. You can see a couple of features on this individual that sort of favors the man walking towards you now. None of you have ever met this person before, but you have certainly heard of him. This is Viscount Edgar Balthazar. You see that they approach each other, and from the distance you see a very terse and tense conversation, but one that Senator Martin smiles throughout.
That does not look like a very good conversation.
Would you like to try and eavesdrop on what they're talking about?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I was trying to look at. I was trying to see if I have a move, but my first instinct was to ask Crank to use his antennas.
Yeah, I'll just turn up the volume knob on my one non-broken ear audio receptor.
That's incredible. Go ahead and make that instinct check to try and hear it.
Oh, and I have an extra +1 to instinct right now because I have my staff.
The power of the staff glows within you.
19 with fear.
19 is pretty good. I'll go ahead and use that fear right now. But first, Crank, you hear a snippet of conversation. You hear Melissa Martin saying, "Well, Edgar, if you had just listened to me when I first came to you with all those demands that our union had, you probably wouldn't have wound up in this conversation, would you? And yet here you are now a Viscount. What a shame." You hear Edgar sort of say, "Things were different back then, Melissa. You know that just as much as I do." And Melissa interrupts and says, "Senator Martin, to you, Viscount. In any case, I'm so happy that I'm able to see what this place looks like. At least you haven't ruined this place, too, like you tried to do with all the other places up north." Edgar sort of sighs heavily and says, "Well, enjoy your time here. Hopefully you'll enjoy it a lot more than Cloud of Towers, right? He hasn't been heard from for a while, if I recall." And you can tell from here that Senator Martin's smile is plastered on, but you can see a little twinge and says, "Well, I'm not one to speak much of the newlywed, now am I? I hate to get in other people's business after all." And Edgar sort of smirks and nods and says, "Enjoy your time at the festival. Don't drink yourself too under the table." And he walks away before Melissa sort of looks over in your direction, Crank, who has noticed that you were listening and just sort of winks. The fear was that you were found out that you were watching. However, on that 19, you were able to hear all that.
Well,
I just had my mouth open that whole time and had it relaying through the speaker.
Oh.
So you heard all that.
Oh.
Mm?
Yeah, Balthazar seems a little
I think
bitter.
she saw me.
She saw you?
Yeah, she winked at me.
As they walk away, They move a little further than you can hear, but as your attention is still on her, you do notice that the peacekeeper that was with Edgar Balthazar comes up to Senator Martin later, sort of like shaking his head and seeming apologetic in whatever he's saying to her. That conversation doesn't last long enough for anything interesting to be said, though.
Let's keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Not to freak out about, but just to keep an eye on.
There we go. Hey, you're learning.
Yeah.
Good job,
Well-
kid.
Thanks. You see like little stars and pistachios.
Cappy doesn't notice.
As you head out, can someone roll me another d6?
Not me.
I'll
Not
do
this
it.
time.
Someone else.
That's a 2.
Oh, dude, that's different. Very exciting. Not much time has really passed, and you're kind of on your 30-minute break right now. And so you then notice someone that sticks out to you, Crank. You see over at one of the booths is a little cidery of sorts where some different ciders are made. All of them taste like apples. No pineapple ciders, no blackberry ciders, just straight up apples up and down. And they have sort of set up a little bar area where people can sit and have some cider. And you notice a man sitting there, a fawn, a very old fawn. Thing is, Crank, seeing this fawn almost twinges something in your brain. This old fawn is dressed in these sort of burgundy and purple robes that go down to their little hooves. They're sitting there talking to another old fawn, a fawn you recognize, actually. You see Farmer Hitchens is talking to this man. But Crank, the reason this person sticks out to you is that something burns through your synapses to tell you that that individual is from Polaris.
I think I fall behind a little bit for my friends as they continue through the festival. And I sidestep over to there.
Yeah, Pistachio and I are walking ahead, and we're doing that thing where we bring someone to our hometown and we're being obnoxious about it. We're like, no. The best thing that you have to try is
of course the ice cream.
the apple ice cream.
The apple ice
They
cream.
put these little cinnamon pieces in them.
Right,
It's
there's
so
little
good.
crunchy pieces of cinnamon,
Yeah.
cinnamon crisp.
Right, and I know you don't eat, but you just got to watch people eat it.
Well-
And we're just walking and as our voices fade.
And they have this little tractor thing that goes poof every time that makes the ice cream. Is wait.
So Crank, you've sidled behind as their voices talking about apple ice cream. You sidle up to those two fawns, do you?
I do, kind of behind them as they're talking. And I am going to reach my hand in, under the blanket behind my back, and I'm going to just, hold the staff.
Farmer Hitchens recognizes you. He's got a pretty bad memory, but he still recognizes you. And he says, "Oh, well, hey there, Crank. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey there."
Oh, hello. Excuse me, I noticed your robes. Are you from Polaris?
You see turning around this old fawn, clearly well along in age, probably on the latter end of the age of a fawn, looks at you and just kind of smiles and says, "Oh, God, never thought I'd see a Mark II defender in my day. Oh, where's your charge? Where's your defender?" And before you can even answer, Farmer Hitchens kind of smacks him and says, No, Foswald. This is Crank. He's just a guy. He's not a charge or anything like those newfangled concepts. He's just a good working man. And Foswald looks at you very quizzically and says, "Really now? Is that true? Tell me about yourself, son."
Well, originally I had a charge, but I haven't had a charge in 10 years now.
Oh, that would track ever since the Civil War, right?
Yeah, and now I'm trying to go to Polaris to become a wizard.
Oh, you want to go to Polaris, do you? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, Mark II is, you weren't developed to do magic, unfortunately. So,
I'm going to grip the staff behind me. I'm going to hold my hand out, and I'm just going to will something to happen.
what happens?
I don't know.
Make an instinct roll, almost like a spell casting roll.
16, 17 with fear.
17 with fear. Okay.
Uh-oh.
17, you succeed. What occurs in your hand?
I think the staff is nature based, so I think I just have vines just grow around my hand.
Ooh. You see Foswald looks at this. His eyes kind of squint. He looks at you and says, "That's very curious. You got a name? What's your name?"
My name is Crank.
Crank now. Well, Crank, this is very curious. It's, from my observation, seems like you haven't really done this very much, have you?
Well, I've been working really hard on it for a long time.
That I see. The gauntlets on your hand, those are arcane gauntlets, are they not?
Technically.
Those were common issue order towards the end of the Civil War. I remember I was part of the unit that sort of assisted the war majors in putting that together. The fact that those don't glow tell me that you haven't quite mastered magic, but you do have some amount of magic within you, it seems. What was the name of your charge? Do you remember?
His name was Adrian Toulouse.
Adrian Toulouse. By the gods. Crank, right?
Yes.
How long have you been in this town? You been here for 10 years?
Been here for 3 weeks.
3 weeks. What were you doing before then?
I don't remember.
He kind of strokes his beard. He looks at you. Very curious.
The last thing I remember is the war, and then I woke up, and then they sent me on my way, and now it's been 10 years.
10 years and 3 weeks. You were deactivated for nearly 10 years after the war, and now you've come back. But 3 weeks ago. Craig, you're a rather fascinating young one, I would say. You know, the Mark IIIs were made to have a little more self-awareness and magical ability, and yet here you stand knowing your name and history, and you can at least have some mastery over an ounce of magic.
Do you think that I could go to Polaris?
Kind of squints and looks at you and says, Crank, if I'm being honest, that would be quite complicated, you see. Most Mark IIs of your style were deactivated after the war fully. Disassembled and put into new parts, you'd be a walking relic, a fossil, really. But if there's one thing that Polaris loves, it's curiosities. And you seem rather curious, having come on your own volition to come and talk to me. You weren't ordered to do so, were you?
No, I haven't taken an order in 10 years.
And Adrian Toulouse is dead.
Yes.
Or so we were told. Tell you what, Crank. He reaches into his robe and pulls out this crystal. Kind of like an orb, but with a lot of sides on it. So it's very crystalline in structure. He hands it to you and says, if you're able to get those arcane gauntlets working, they can reliably use magic. I want you to shatter this crystal where you stand. I will be there in but a moment, and we can have a conversation. By the gods, I tell you this, Crank, that if you shatter that crystal and your magic doesn't work, I swear to the darkest of midnight, I will disassemble you where you stand. Do not waste my time. Am I very clear?
Crystal.
Very good. I think if you're able to do this, you're able to get those gauntlets working and you can get control over that magic of yours, I think you've got a lot of potential, Crank.
Thank you, sir.
He looks back at you and nods and says, before you go, Crank, can I ask you something?
Of course.
Does the name Delilah Tomez mean anything to you? Make a knowledge check for me.
19 with hope.
Oh, a 19 with hope. Crank. This is great. Guess what, you guys?
What?
I think now's a good time for a flashback. Crank.
Flashback.
Crank, what is your first memory?
I think my first memory is being activated after I came off the assembly line. And I'm just like standing in a room. Like, you know, those old like tombs that just have the stone like statues in just very neat, orderly rows. Yeah. I think I'm standing in one of those. And it's just me, lots and lots of Mach 2s just standing there waiting to be deployed.
This is a memory that comes screaming back to the forefront of your mind. As you come to, you hear a voice saying, new graduates, it echoes. I'm not going to do the echo, but it's echo. They're in a big room. You understand. Echoes. You all have been specifically chosen for this new technology. The power of our anima as wizards of Polaris is such that few weapons can truly harm us. However, as technology gets more and more advanced and deadly, we need new tools to shield ourselves. Thus, introducing the Defender Series Mark II, a new age of defense for our personal safety. Each of you will be given a Defender Series to protect you in the coming battles. Standing before you, Crank, is a person who you would later know is Adrian Toulouse. Can you go ahead and describe Adrian Toulouse to us right now?
I think he's very average. He's average height, average weight, has a little bit of a scruffy beard and long hair that he probably doesn't spend much time on. I think he just looks like he doesn't spend a lot of time on his appearance because he's too busy being buried in his books and his magic. Maybe his hair's a little like red tinged, like auburn, and he just looks very intelligent.
What would you say his ancestry is, do you think?
I think he's a half elf.
So you see an auburn-haired, scruffy-looking, lack of care half-elf before you. The thing that really surprises you, I think, is his smile. And he's got a big one right now. It's the kind of smile that just makes you like a person. You know what I mean? He's smiling real big. He has two assistants next to him, played by you two right now. And you see that this one looks at you and says, Defender Mark II. That's a bit of a mouthful. What do you think, Pleiades? What should we name him?
Well, this thing is made out of metal, so maybe we should do something like aluminum or titanium or something like that.
Okay. We can put that on the drawing board. What about you, Costello? What do you think?
I don't think that we should name it.
Of course you don't, Costello. Of
No,
course you don't.
listen, the moment we humanize, we can't get attached. We know what their purpose is.
You're so full of yourself. Come on. It's just naming it so it's less of a mouthful, you know?
Fine, M2. Does that make you happy?
M2, that's basically calling it the same thing.
Fine, Tui.
Tui?
Final answer.
Oh my goodness. Okay, get a room, you two. Okay, let's just ask it. And you see that he is looking at you right now in your activated state and says, Hello, my name is Adrian. What is your name? Do you have a name?
I do not have a designation.
Would you like a name?
If you would like to bestow one on me.
Let's see. Cognate robotic assistant with Novasight kinematics. That would work. Call you Crank. How's that sound? Do you like that?
I have no opinion.
I see. Well, Costello, Pleiades, this is really good now that we have one of these. You haven't told anyone that we're leaving for Just Saying shit, right?
No, of course not.
Good. Now that we have Crank here, we can really further our research. I think we're going to make some great leaps. He kind of puts hands on each of your shoulders and says, we're going to launch ourselves into the future. And Crank here is the key. He smiles real big. Well, Crank, I think this is the start of a beautiful friendship. What do you say?
Designation updated.
I like you, Crank. And as he says that, you see walking up to him is a elven woman. She has really sharp features and her hair is up in a bun. She kind of like chuckles and says, You're calling it Crank? Do you like that name, Crank? Is that a good name for you?
That is my designation.
You're going to humanize it. You're going to humanize it and you're going to hate yourself, Adrian.
I keep trying to tell him.
It's literally not that big a deal. It's just a simple shorthand.
Adrian looks at her and says, When we give things a name, we give it significance. And I think Crank is going to be very significant. And you see that she smiles and says, You think everything you do is significant, and kisses him. And then they kiss for an awkward amount of time in front of the two of you. And Delilah, as she pulls away, says, Well, have fun, you three. I'll be back to studying my research. I was also given a Mark II, so I'm not as excited as you three seem to be, but maybe I'll name mine too. Something like titanium or maybe aluminum.
That's a great name. See?
Thank you, Pleiades. I knew you would understand.
See?
Eye roll.
She walks away and you see that Adrian smiles and says, That Delilah, love her to death. And he looks over at you, Crank, as the memory sort of fades.
Yes, I know, Delilah.
Hey, it's a podcast.